Hey guys, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. As you can see, I have something different today. Something I've never done. We're gonna make a clock. So, I bought 2 pieces of this wood. And I'm gonna do this one in a kind of like a geode style. So I'm gonna use some of the purple crushed glass. We're gonna use some of the dark purple mica powder. We're gonna use the grape mica powder by Recollection. And for the white, I'm gonna use this Recollection white because it's like a pearlescence kind of color. So the majority of it's going to be white with a purple through it. Oh, and then I am going to add just a little bit of black, like the tiniest amount, just to give a little bit of contrast to it. And when I say little, I mean little. We're going to be using one of these. So I had to set up on my paint pouring table because it was too big on my table and I couldn't get everything in focus. So I did buy this from Amazon, and it is like a template for your clock. So I went around and I just kind of wanted to know like the center where it was. So when I'm putting my rocks, I'm not putting, not my rocks, but my glass pieces, I'm not putting them in this, you know, like in the center. To me, it looks off, but I measured. So I'm just gonna, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a line here and something here, and then maybe on the top and the bottom. So before we do that, I did tape my back. I got that all taped so that when the resin drips over, and I put it on this parchment paper. I do have some chucks underneath it. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna keep some for the stones. I need the white, I need the 2 purples, and a smidge of the black. So I have an extra cup here just in case I change my mind. All right, so, and this is the Craftor resin. It's just the epoxy resin 1-to-1. On my next coat, I will be using the Craftor tabletop resin for that nice hard finish. I do have a couple of different clock options. This was the one that I had. It has like 2 clocks. It has gold, black, and silver numbers that I had to buy separate. And it had the black, gold, and silver hands. And then I bought this kit because this one has a lot of different hands, and the numbers are and the letters are bigger. So we'll go through this when we get to that point. We'll be picking out. So for now, I just want to get this started. I've never done this, so I don't know. I mixed up 6 ounces. It might be too much. It might not be enough. I don't know. So let's, all right. So I know I want just a little black because I'm just going to drizzle that with a stick. So I've got some there, and I've got the 2 purples. I might have to find a different one because I don't know how dark the dark purple is going to be. I want there to be a contrast. So I guess we'll do that. That, and we'll leave this for the white. All right, so I'm gonna need 3 stir sticks, and I'll probably use the heat gun to kind of blend my colors once I get to that point. So I'm gonna start with that. I want it to be opaque. But again, like I said, I want this to be darker than the other. Oh, I'm gonna need some clear for the rocks. All right, so I'm definitely gonna have to add more. So maybe what I'll do is, I'm gonna split this one in 2 because I don't want too much of the purples, but I want enough to show the difference. Let's see. Maybe I just do 1 purple. Oh, decisions. Because I could lighten this by adding a smidge of white to it. So why don't I do that? Kind of, yeah, break that in half. And that's gonna let that have time to sit and debubble a little bit. So I am gonna put some of this in. I don't know if it's going to lighten it or not. Let's see. All right, we're gonna add, let me just grab some of my ocean white pigment paste and put a drop of that in there. That should hopefully be enough. Yeah. Okay, so we have our 2 different colors. This is going to be for the white. No. This one's going to be the white. I think that one we're going to use for the stones. I'm going to put some clear down. I'm going to put the stones, and then I'll fill in with color after. And this, it says it's white, but it's almost like a creamy color. So it's white, but it's not like bam white, you know, like not like the ocean white. It's a more of a pearl color. So, like I said, I don't know if I'm even gonna have enough. All right. So let's get these over here. I'm gonna get my black mixed. And again, I mean, it's a minute amount. And put these on my table behind me. I'm all backwards. Yeah, that's gonna be a good, and like I said, just a little bit, because we definitely gonna need some sort of a contrast, I think, in this. All right, so let me just set that there. All right, so are we ready? I'm nervous. All right, so I am just going to, let's see. Just kind of want to get in like where I want the stones. And maybe a little bit there. And something right there. All right, and then we can add as we go. So I'm thinking the easiest way is, let me see if I have a spoon. I don't know if the spoon is going to work or if I should just do it with my hands. And then I'll just have to scoop them, push them in where they need to go. And I think my fingers maybe are going to be a better option. Now, I was going to mix them in, but I didn't know exactly what I needed. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to mix them on the board and see how that goes. You know, and then I'm going to have to, you know, take a stick and stir it in, and, you know, I want to get it to the edge, but I'm just trying to see how it's going to look. And I know I'm going to need a little bit more that way. And I'm going to have to left-handed here because I got my finger all goopy. All right, so let me just get some of these down. All right, so let's just kind of, I mean, there's going to be resin going everywhere, so I'm not too worried about that. I just, and I don't want them sticking, I want them sticking up a little bit, but not too high, because I want the clock needles to be able to go over these. All right, and then I can just take a brush or something and clean up around the rocks. I do want that clear to be, you know, full of the crushed glass. So the part I'm nervous about is the part that's gonna run over the edge. That's the thing that's got me the most nervous. But we're gonna do it anyways. All right, so I got that to the edge. Just trying to get my shapes here of where I want my stone or glass or whatever. All right, got one more here. So this might be a long video, guys. I'm just gonna warn you now. And then I will take my clock hand and kind of put it to the side just to make not the hand, but the mechanism, just to make sure that there's still going to be plenty of room. And then if I have to add some more of the crushed glass after, I can always do that. So I'm just trying to get that pat down. All right, so let me, what am I gonna use for a brush? I don't know if this will work. I mean, the ones that are going to be underneath the dark probably won't show. But I don't want to have, you know, too many loose rocks. I don't know why I keep calling them rocks. You know what I mean. And then I'm going to tap them down. All right. And then if I have some that, like a showing, I can always use a tool and get that out. Okay. All right. I think we're good with that for now. I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit more on the top, because I want to make sure that, you know, they are all covered. I ended up buying that extra clock kit with it has 4 clock things, because once I decided to do this, I have got a lot of ideas, and I want to do one for specifically geared for men, like maybe their man cave or something. So yeah, we will be doing a bunch of clocks here. Just saying. Alrighty, so let me I'm gonna go around the stones with the white. And I'm gonna put it in a paper cup just because it's gonna make it easier for me to pour where I want it, because then I can squeeze it. Okay. I might not have enough. Oh yeah, I got another cup. Never mind. I'm like, oh no, I'm running out. Whoa. All right. So now let's do the light up next to the white. So I might be having to make up some more resin for sure. And if I do, the rest is going to be white. Well, that same creamy color. Okay. And yeah, so definitely I'm going to need definitely more white. You know, it's one of those things where you just never know how much of what you're going to need. All right. All right, so I've still got some white here, so we'll finish using this. And I've still got some clear here, but I'm gonna leave it just in case. So I'm gonna finish this white up. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make up 6 more ounces just to be on the safe side. And then I will get that mixed and I will be right back, guys. Okay, so I've got 6 more. I'm just about done mixing it here. And I'm mixing it by hand because I am going to use my blow dryer on it, which will pop bubbles plus the alcohol. So, yeah. And just grab another stick. I'm gonna put a good amount. Might have to even add more, but we will see. So these boards I got at Michael's. It was a 2-pack. So I figured I'd get the 2-pack and see how, you know, they come out. And if they come out good, then I will go get some more. All right. Just making sure I got that mica in there and all. Sorry, I'm off camera, guys. I'm at a different angle. But you've seen me stir mica powder before, so all right. So I'm just gonna take my stick and gonna make sure that all the wood is covered. And I'm gonna blow it out. And that way we can blend the white and the purples. And then I'll add some black and we'll blend that. Like I said, I have a little bit of clear left if I need it. All right, so maybe I can start blowing. All right, so let me, and I have my small blow dryer right here. So I'm just gonna put it on low for right now and meld those colors together. So I already know the one thing I did wrong. I should have poured all white and then poured my colors over it. So we know that now for next time, right? So we're always learning something. And then I'm gonna pour some clear over the stones once I get everything kind of where so I'm just gonna so when plan A doesn't work, you go to plan B. And we'll just drag that color through some of this white. Alright, so I'm definitely going to need some more white in through here. And then I've got to make sure that I have my my edges done. All right, so let me I'm gonna put a little bit of white in here, and we're gonna just so we have more of a mixture in there. And I can pick some of this and run that through. You know, and this is gonna probably continue to move. And I know the angle is not good for you guys. I am so sorry. All right, I'm just gonna actually because this is going to have another coat over the top anyways, so I just it was just a little thin there and the white kind of took over. Okay. just trying to get the spots that you can still see the clear, and there might be a little too much white. Okay. I can extend that a little because I have the extra. All right, so that is actually looking pretty good, but I want the edges covered. So just kind of like when you're doing the paint pouring, I'm just picking up the mixture. So the sides are gonna have that same multicolor around it. Yeah, I could hear. I'll be up in a minute. All right. And let's see. Getting it kind of. All right, now I'm going to put a little bit of black. When you're doing something like this, you definitely need to add some sort of a major contrast, I think, in my opinion. It just, I think it just adds some character. Let me get a, try to wipe one hand here so I can use my blow dryer. Oh, crap. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I've never seen it before.
My son just came down to tell me that I got company, so he's never actually seen me do a resin piece, so he is checking it out. It's very sticky. I'm just breaking up those harsh lines. I don't mind one or two of the harsh lines, but and then we all know that, you know, this is going to move and do its own gosh dang thing. You know, it just can't stay the way I put it. So I'm thinking I'm liking it. All right, so I'm going to leave this. This is going to sit overnight. It's going to cure up. Tomorrow I'm going to come back and I'm going to get the hole drilled out for the center. And then we're going to do the tabletop epoxy over the top and put the numbers in. I'm almost thinking I might do 2 layers of the tabletop just to make sure. I don't know. I'll see how the numbers stick when I get to that part. But if I have a feeling that they're not going to stick good, I am just going to do another coat. And that way they'll be all under the resin. And I also got to see, so let me take my gloves off here. And this is my clock base. So I'm going to look across this way. I'm going to try to find any high spots and kind of just put this. And I know, yes, I still have, because I have about half of that shaft that I can build. Oh, sorry. I have about half of this shaft that I can build, and then the hand will still work. So we are good to go right now. And for you guys, I'll be right back. And for me, it will be in the morning. Alrighty, guys, have a good day. Bye. Actually, let me bring you down and see if I can get you at a better... There you go. So, just kind of see what I'm seeing. All right, I'll be back. Okay, guys, so I mixed up 10 ounces of the Craftor tabletop epoxy. And we are just gonna do a flood coat on that. And you hand mix it. It is very bubbly, but we'll take the torch and get those bubbles out. And I am going to put a little bit of crushed crystal in this just to give it a little bit more sparkle. So far everything's looking good. And I'll probably put I don't know, I'll have to see how it looks if we put a third layer. All right, so let me just grab some crushed crystal. So I'm gonna put that much just because I know it is there's so much of this in here. And then we're gonna stir that up. And this should just give a nice sparkle to the top. And then once this cures, I will get the center hole drilled. All right, so let me just grab some gloves. I am so anxious to see this. And it is all ready. All right, so I guess I'm just gonna go around the outside first. So this is a very thick but very hard resin. You can make casting pieces with it as well, but I'm using it for a top coat today. Like I said, I've never done this before, so I had no clue on how much to, and I do want it to go over the edges, but it will stop dripping in like 15 to 20 minutes. It thickens up really quick. All right, so let me just kind of and it is self-leveling. Like I said, we're going to take the torch here in a minute. Just want to make sure that we have no, you know, like uncovered areas. All right, so I'm just going around feeling to make sure that there is resin there. If there's not, I'm just dipping my fingers in to get some resin on that side. Okay. And let me grab my torch here. And I will probably do this a couple of times. And I see a few spots where I've got to add some more. And I've only got a little bit, so I might as well use it. And I can't remember how, I think this is like 4 hours. It is like touch dry. And I see something right there. Let me get a pokey stick. Okay, not seeing nothing else. And this should have a really nice hard finish. Oh, I see something else. Okay, so I'm just gonna wipe the excess off the back. So I'll do this a couple of times until I'm not getting those drips on the bottom anymore. I do have the drips from the first batch, but so yeah, so when we come back, I'll know whether it's, if we're gonna need another coat or not. Just kind of looking and making sure that that it's around the edges. It's kind of deceiving with the way the stones are, whether it's like covered or not. All right. I will be back when it's time for the next step, guys. Okay, guys, so this is cured. The one thing I didn't think of, remember how I made the circle in the middle to make sure? Well, I didn't worry about where my numbers were gonna go. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes when we get to that. But first, let's see if we can get our backing off. So I do have my heat gun. I'm gonna heat up the edges a little bit and see if I can separate that. I'll start it and then I'll probably finish it, you know, off camera, just because it's gonna be a long process. And then I will be back for the next step. So let's just see if we can heat this to start getting some of this off. I guess I'll start down here. And I'll get some of the tape started. All right, so get some of this off, so that way we have just the one row of tape that we're dealing with. All right, so we're going to use that as our starting point. Ooh, that one came off good. Wow, I'm impressed. This is what I was the most nervous about. Just turn this so I can continue to work it around. I have literally been sitting there contemplating because I was so nervous about this part. And oh my word, I am blown away at how easy this is coming off. Wow. So I'll have a little bit of trimming to do, but ow. All right. So I will get my knife and I'm gonna get that all trimmed, and as I slice my fingers up here. All right, so let's let me get some of the hands out. So I'm thinking the black are going to look the best. Let's see. Those glow in the dark. That's black and silver, black and silver. I think we'll do the fancier ones. Well, I guess I have to see how long they are, right? These don't look very long at all. All right, so this is the longest hand. All right, let me find... I think those ones will be, I think these will be better. And let's, right, so 3. This is gonna be a problem area. And this one might have to trim that down. So let me get the hole drilled and figure out which ones I'm going to use, if I'm going to use these or if I'm going to use numbers. And then I will be back. Okay, so we've got the hole drilled, sorry. So, and I've picked out my hands and I've got my numbers here. I am so excited. Oh, all right, so I need plastic washer. I need one of those. And one of those. And the rest can go in here. Okay. Now, I have never done a clock before, so that is gonna sit there. And then we put a washer and a nut. And then I will, before I completely seal it, I'll make sure that the back is, you know, square. So I did put the template on. I measured and I made my marks. I think I missed one. Maybe I didn't. We will see. So this goes down first. And that one goes second. And then that goes on like that. So let me grab my E6000. So let me, so I'm gonna have to put them closer to the outside because of where some of the rocks, the glass falls. 3, 4, 5, 1 missing. 5. That's 7. 8. All right, so 8. All right, so that's 3. Okay, here we go. That's what I did wrong. So that's 3, 4, 5, 'I must have left a letter upstairs. That's 5. All right, so this one's 12. That's 11.
Hey, hon,
Yeah.
can you give me a few minutes on the phone?
Yep. I'll be right there. All right. So I'll look for my other number and I'll be right back. Okay. It's too early in the morning. I was screwing these ones up down here, but I got to figure it out. I'm like, oh my word. So I am just trying to make sure that they are somewhat symmetrical across. Because like I said, I got to move it a little bit because of the crushed glass. So that one. And that one. So I forgot my dot on this one. Let me grab my tape measure and just... Okay. All right. So, just gonna start up here. This is my E6000. And I'm gonna get a little little stick here and clean up the excess.
So that 20%,
Hang on. Okay, so I've got that one cleaned up, and I'm just gonna try not to put so much. I mean, enough to hold it, but and then once they're dry, I'll go around and clean up any extra glue that comes off. I guess I should have put the numbers on before I put the hands on. But, you know, that's okay. All right. This has been a long process because I've been so anxious to see the outcome. I've been wanting to do one for a while, but I was scared. And one of my lovely subscribers had commented she would like to see me do a clock on wood, on MDF. So that's what I did. You know, because you guys help push me out of my comfort zone, which is what I need. All right, so this one is the one that's gonna be a little wonky because it's got to sit up on the rocks. But so far we've only had that one. Might not be completely perfect, but it's gonna be close. So now I know what not to do if I do this again with stones, is I've got to keep it away from the edges. We'll have two that are going to be a little wonky, but hey, for my first clock, I am okay with it. And that one's got to be in a little bit more, again, because of the shape of the crushed glass. I haven't even eaten yet, guys, because I was so anxious to come and get this done. So once I get this done, I'm gonna go have some lunch. Oh. And so, and I'll be able to clean up the numbers once that is done, and then I can scrape it off the top. And there we have it. Our beautiful clock. So the next time I do it, I don't think I'm going to use mica powder. I don't like how it's, I don't know, it's just, but overall, I love it. So like I said, I will make sure that that looks pretty straight. So I will get you some final pictures and let me know in the comments what you think and any ideas for another clock, because I have got another piece of wood and I have plenty of hands and stuff, so we can definitely do another one. And I'm going to bring the hook and get that put on, which that'll be easy because that just goes into the wood. So it does come with a hook to hang it on the wall. So I will get that put on the back. And yeah. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It's free. It helps my channel. And when we get to 3,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So, yeah, I will see you guys later. Thank you.